Lounge. On 1620 The Zone, the 1620 The Zone app, and 1620thezone.com. When 6A to 6P isn't enough, the boys have you covered. Here's Jimmy Allen
and John Schreiner.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome inside the After Hours Lounge. We are brought to you by Bellevue University. If you head over to bellevue.edu, you can register for the premier college experience in the nation. Bellevue University has a plethora of different degrees that you can study in, as well as many, many sports options if you're looking to continue your playing career at the collegiate level. I am Jimmy Allen. That is John Schreiner.
Hi.
Dan Campion and Brody Heineman with us tonight. We got a great show lined up with you. You know who else is going to be here tonight? The MVP of the UFL, Adrian Martinez, is going to join us at 6:15.
Our friend.
Former co-host of the show. We majorly upgraded by adding John Schreiner. We promised you last week Wing Wednesday would be back. It's going to be a Wing Thursday tonight. Our friends Derek and Leah Richards from Cunningham Pubs are going to join us in studio to talk about Wing and Whiskey Wednesday, what's going on at both bars, and a lot of the events that they have coming up. I hope somebody didn't just die as Dan Campion sprints out of the room. At 7 o'clock, we're going to buy or sell tonight on a plethora of topics, including Tiger Woods. Did he let us down again? We'll tell you at 7 o'clock. At 7:30, our good friend Brian Munson from Husker Online is going to join us to talk about a massive recruiting weekend in Lincoln as well. You can get at the show at After Hours 1620 on Twitter. You can call Brody Heineman at 402-951-1620, where he will answer the phone, and we can talk about whatever you would like to discuss tonight. You were going to be late tonight.
You were going to be,
but you were an overachiever and you're too good at your job, so you're here on time.
You're welcome.
We were going to discuss the NBA to open the show. Your thoughts?
Luka Doncic.
Yes, he has been. I think he's been the problem. Like, I hate to say that, but for a guy that has been as Brody, step up and grab the mic because you're more of the NBA than John Schreiner. So we'll
little bit.
We'll make this a triangle situation here. He's really been Bo Pelini-esque in a sense of when things go off the rail, he's not handling it well, and he's making the situation worse. I don't know if he's been the only reason that Dallas is in a 3-0 hole right now, and they've got a lot of problems specifically stopping anything in the paint at all. That'd be great if they could start doing that at any time during this next game. But it just feels like he's more worried about complaining to the officials than getting rebounds. And that's never a winning formula in basketball.
Well, I mean, I've watched some of the highlights, and it just looks like
be glad you haven't watched the games because they've been almost unwatchable.
The defensive effort from Dallas looks to be,
if they had defense,
putting it nicely, a bit lacking. Like some of the highlights, I'm like, wait, that was a ball screen, and there was nobody on the backside of it.
Or pinning anybody down in the corner.
There's just nobody underneath that screen or over top of it for that matter. And it's like, what are you guys doing?
Which is incredible because if you look back at any one of the Western Conference series, that's basically how they were winning. Like Luka was going off offensively, but they were really able to isolate and pin down the best player on the opposing team. Now, maybe that's a little bit of the problem is Boston can kind of kill you by 1,000 cuts because they've got so many guys between Jaylen Brown. You've got Jason Tatum, and when Porzingis has been healthy, he's been a factor. He didn't even play in Game 3, and he's really been the kill switch for Boston. He wasn't even available in Game 3, and Celtics still were able to just run through Dallas. And it's just not a great look for what you're trying to do on either side of the ball in Dallas. Not right. And Luka kind of talked after Game 3 and said he's just got to get back to having fun. And I know to anybody looking outside of the game, that seems a lot easier said than done. But I think that's going to go a long, long way because when you get in this situation for the first time, when you're playing for a championship for the first time, there's so much added pressure that it's probably a little hard to play your game and stay within your box and do what you do best.
Yeah, I don't. It's tough. Like when you get to that point of the season, when you get to the NBA Finals,
for the first time,
like you shouldn't need any extra motivation, right? Like the motivation should be intrinsic
I don't think that's
at that
the
point.
I think it's more,
but the effort doesn't seem to be there. Like just like look, I know I haven't watched any of the entirety games, but I've watched SportsCenter. I've seen.
You're not wrong. I've watched all 3. You're not wrong.
Like I don't understand why the effort isn't there.
It really,
I don't get it.
It really feels. It really feels like the moment is too big for this team. I don't think it's a momentum thing. I think it's we've never been here before. We're out in the deep end, and the sharks are swimming around us.
And the
that's
team
more
has
what it
been
like.
there before.
Yeah, and they look like the sharks. They look like the hunters and not the hunted, which is weird because we've talked about this has been the Achilles heel of Jason Tatum's Boston Celtics. They've never been able to get over the hump. They look like they're 1 foot over right now and just waiting for the other shoe to fall. And if you're a Dallas fan, you hope that Luka is enough, but I mean, it's not like he hasn't had the numbers. He fouled out of a playoff game for the first time in his career in Game 3, and his effort has.
Was it a foul?
Yeah, absolutely, it was a foul. It's if you redirect a shooter in any way, it's a foul.
But you can't call that in that situation.
Never. You shouldn't like.
That's the argument I've been hearing.
That's a foul in March. That's not a foul in June.
Oh, you don't think it? You think you're swallow the whistle guy?
In that situation, situations matter. I don't care what anybody says. Situations always matter. If we're talking about crowning a champion, listen, I think it was a foul. I think it was the right call. But if it's going to determine the outcome of an NBA Finals game and it's that close of a decision, you swallow that whistle every time.
Oh, I'm not swallow. I disagree. I am not swallow the whistle guy at all. If it's a foul in March, it's a foul in June.
I agree, Jimmy.
Like you can't adjudicate the game differently based on the situation because then you're playing a different game. If you change the rules in the postseason, then you've changed the game.
I agree with that sentiment, and that's the way sports should be dictated.
Yep.
But the fact of the matter is that it's never how sports are dictated. Like when I had no problem with the holding call against Kansas City not getting called, or against Philadelphia not getting called in the Super Bowl, or excuse me, the Chiefs against, who was it? Sorry, it was the Packers, right? Packers Eagles. Which game? What am I thinking of? Recently, it was a holding call where the jersey was clearly grabbed, but the game was on the line, doesn't get called. Who was that? Was that Green Bay? Why am I seeing
it was playoffs? Yeah,
I'm seeing the Eagles Packers in my head for some reason. But like in that situation, perfect example. The the Elite Eight game with Creighton and San Diego
It's a
State.
foul.
Not in that moment.
It's a foul every day.
With the game on the line, you need athleticism to decide the outcome of the game.
But you also have to do your athleticism within the confines of the rules of the game.
If it can be looked at, if you can get a camera angle on it where it's not a foul, you can't whistle that. I don't care what the sport is. If there's an angle of the game,
if there is a camera angle that shows that it is a foul, then it's a foul. It doesn't matter what else you can't see.
But if I'm talking about if it's a frame by frame situation and that's what dictates it, listen, I'm not here to knock officials. I've officiated high school football games. I get how difficult the job is. But when you're talking about the pinnacle, you need the play. If it's not it needs to be egregious. It needs to be malicious or at least pretty darn close to. I'm never blowing that whistle. I'm just not. If we're talking about a championship decision,
I just wholeheartedly disagree, man. I think that like the rules have to be the rules because you have to understand what is allowed and what is not allowed, and it has to be the same in all situations.
So here's why I will disagree with that. Because not in all sports, but in most sports, overtime rules are different in the playoffs. Like you have situations.
Yeah, but the rules about fouling don't change.
Right. But you have rules that bend based on championship situations through multiple sports. It's not just college football. You have difference in innings. You have the ghost running rule in baseball. You have extra innings in college softball. You have certain things that championships dictate the way the game is played. So I think it should be. To me, it makes sense why officials look at it different in the biggest moments.
It doesn't to me, and I will bang this drum for as long as I have a stick to hit it with. The rules have to be the rules because if you change situationally, then you've totally undermined the integrity of how the game should be played.
Eagles Chiefs is where that PA call was that I was talking about, or PI call I was talking about was, by the way. I knew I was right. I should have stuck with my gut. Dan, of course I was right.
Sure.
Let's get Dan Campanet's thoughts on this before we get to Adrian Martinez. The foul against Luka Doncic the other night that everybody is calling ticky-tack. Foul, no foul?
Foul.
Okay.
It's always a foul 10 times.
Do you understand why some officials swallow the whistle in bigger game situations?
So I do, and it's because they're wimps and because they don't know how officiating is supposed to work.
So you're on John Schreiner's team here.
I am 100% on John Schreiner's team because rules are rules. If you're going to call it one way during the regular season, you have to call it the same way during the playoffs.
And to some degree, that makes a whole lot of sense because you're doing the job for a certain amount of time. I'm looking at this more from like an outside perspective, but I think for an official that is doing the job throughout the rigmarole of the season, I guess I'll word it that way. If you're calling it that way the entire season, then you should call it that way in the playoffs. But we see a lot of stuff slide, specifically in the NBA in the regular season, because you'll get an official to look down at his watch, realize it's time to get the Chili's because it's almost the end of happy hour. We need to get through this game. But
this is what we hammered Angel Hernandez for. It was like
Okay.
calling things differently because he had a flight to catch.
No, there's a big difference. Angel Hernandez was calling balls 8 feet outside of the plate strikes. There's a massive difference between a very debatable call. And again, I'm with you. I think it was a foul, and I think it should have been called as such, and just complete nepotism.
I don't know, man. The rules are the rules to me.
We got to get to Adrian Martinez. He is a former co-host of this show, former Nebraska quarterback, and the current reigning MVP of the United Football League. We're going to catch up with Adrian about his season and the championship they're playing for coming up on Sunday. If you missed the opening segment tonight, check it out at soundcloud.com/afterhours1620. It was brought to you by Amber Best with Berkshire Hathaway Real Estate. If your house is just not getting off the market, your neighbor's house just sold, your cousin's house just sold, everybody else's property is moving but yours, it's probably because they're working with Amber Best with Berkshire Hathaway. You can buy and sell with Best today by calling 402-916-0482 or check out amberbest.com to get your house off the market and learn about building wealth through real estate today. Check out Amber Best at 402-916-0482 and get your house off of the market. We'll be right back, catching up with 2 a.m. on 6:15 on 1620 Zone.
Hey, everybody. John Schreiner here for Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. Wedding bells are in the air. And if the wedding bells are not in the air for you, well, don't sit in the corner and cry. Get yourself dressed up and go to a wedding. And maybe you can find that special somebody that'll ring the wedding bells for you. But first, you got to look good because you got to dress to impress when you're heading out to the big day. And Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear will get you fitted to the nines. They have the best suit buying experience in the Midwest. They're going to get you fit for the big day. You're going to look great. You're going to walk in to that wedding venue and everyone's going to stop and say, he went to Jerry Ryan. Check out Dan and John at Jerry Ryan. Tell them we sent you. They're going to get you fitted right for wedding season. They're at 78th and Dodge, and they've been dressing Omaha for over 50 years.
Your Omaha area forecast presented by Funplex Water Park and Rides from the KETV Newswatch 7 Weather Center on 1620 The Zone.
Mostly sunny to partly cloudy this evening, breezy with that temperature staying in the 80s. Later tonight, mostly clear. We'll drop back in the lower 60s for a low. And then partly cloudy skies are on the way for Friday with a high temperature topping out in the upper 80s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Randy from KETV Newswatch 7.
Are you looking to be part of a winning tradition? The Bellevue University Bruins could be the right fit for you. Whether on the court or on the field, track or course, our student athletes strive and succeed. This year, Bellevue teams and individuals have combined to win 11 conference championships, with 8 teams qualifying for their national tournaments. Plus, nearly 50 student athletes were also named to all conference teams. Find out more about our tradition of excellence at BUBruins.com.
Jerry Ryan Clothing has been dressing Omaha for over 50 years. Located at 78th and Dodge, they've got you covered for your summer events. Let Johnny O, Mizzen and Maine, Roan, and Peter Millar take care of golf, office, or a night on the town looks. Whether it's a golf polo for the course or completely updating your business casual wardrobe, do it in style. Let Dan, John, Jake, or Deanna take care of your look for any event. As always, free alterations by Mona the Tailor. It's Jerry Ryan Clothing, 78th and Dodge.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
Don't keep up with the Joneses. Blow the Joneses out of the water and have everyone talking about your house this summer. Let Forsman's Finest Decks come build you a deck, put a cover on it, and give your house the much-needed facelift it deserves. Forsman's Finest Decks has been improving homes in the Omaha area for more than half a decade. With over 135 five-star reviews, you're not going to regret your decision to enjoy the finer things. Check out forsmansfinest.com and have your dream deck built this summer. Forsman's Finest Decks, building the finest decks in Omaha.
Ready to make a positive impact in a young boy's life? Join Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands and become a mentor where you are matched up with a boy in the greater Omaha area. Over 50 boys are waiting for someone like you to guide and inspire them. Visit mentoromaha.org and sign up to make a difference in a boy's life. Don't wait. Make a lasting impact today.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. RAMP.com/sports.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
The 2024 Men's College World Series plays here on 1620 The Zone and 1620thezone.com. Presented locally by Woodhouse Ford. Every pitch, every hit, every game. Also brought to you by Patera Landscaping, Pinnacle Bank, and Cubby's Convenience Stores. Don't miss a minute of Omaha's biggest event, the 2024 Men's College World Series on 1620 The Zone and 1620thezone.com.
Hop into the driver's seat of a new Ford truck or SUV now at Baxter Ford. Choose from hundreds of new Ford F-150s, F-150 Lightnings, F-250s, and F-350s. Baxter Ford has over 250 new SUV models available, including Bronco, Bronco Sport, Escape, Edge, Explorer, Expedition, and more. Plus, all our vehicles come with fair, transparent pricing and no dealer fees. So you only pay for the vehicle, not the paperwork. Get started at BaxterFord.com.
You're listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
6:18 on a Thursday night here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Bellevue University. If you want to keep up to date on all things ever-changing what's inside the Bellevue Athletic Department, do it by downloading the BU Bruins app to your smartphone tonight. The UFL has crowned its first ever MVP, and it's the gentleman that joins us on the phone now, Adrian Martinez. 2 a.m., how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me, Jimmy.
Hey, man, I'm really sorry that Dan talked your ear off. I asked him not to talk to you at all, but he just kept going.
Yeah, something about Blake Bortles.
Yeah,
I don't know. I got fired up about it.
You got takes? What do you think about Blake Bortles' game? Break it down for us.
I mean, the guy has an aura.
There you go.
Leave it there. And he found a way to get him to the AFC Championship.
Another guy that's got an aura is the quarterback of the Birmingham Stallions, who led the league in rushing and number 2 in total offense. Which accomplishment means more to you this season, being second in the league in total offense or the rushing numbers?
You know, I would probably say second in total offense. You know, I think it's a known part of my game that I'm able to run the ball. And so to be able to show a little bit more to my game that, you know, the downfield passing attack, just continuing to progress as a passer. I think those are the things I wanted to showcase in this league, and hopefully the most important thing, we can win this championship this upcoming Sunday.
Adrian, John Schreiner here, Jimmy's new co-host. Thanks for vacating the seat so I could sit in. I really appreciate it. But Mike,
absolutely. I noticed the new co-host.
he just likes the paycheck. Don't lie.
As I'm just wondering, like, so, you know, you'd kind of taken a step back from football. You were doing the media stuff. How much did sitting next to Jimmy Allen really motivate you to get back into the game?
I love this question. You know, coming in late Thursday night, talking about things like Blake Bortles. I guess this is what fired me up. No, I'm just kidding. It's been crazy. It's been a crazy turn of events. I mean, I knew my football career wasn't done. I mean, you can ask Jimmy. It was constantly something I was working towards. I mean, whether it was a workout with an NFL team or having the UFL in my sights, it's definitely always been at the forefront of my mind, even during that downtime.
Yeah, I guess I was just kind of wondering how much sitting next to Jimmy made you just really want to leave the studio and get back to playing football.
Jeez.
It fired me up about sports. We got to talk about different things. You won't hear me say something bad about Jimmy. I can't do it.
Not publicly anymore.
I was trying.
Yeah,
I was trying to get one.
Get me off the phone.
I was trying to get one.
Hey, Adrian, I know you and I have discussed this a lot about what you were trying to accomplish when you got to Birmingham, but you completed 58% of your passes this season. Did you have a number in mind about where you wanted to be? Obviously, you got one more game left to improve or make those numbers worse. But from a percentage standpoint, were you like when you're talking to Coach Holtz and that staff about where you wanted to be? Was there a number you had in mind?
Not particularly. I think if you play with a certain mindset, it'll only hold you back. Like, hey, I need to complete a couple more passes here. I think it can be a trap. You just want to play the game, take what the defense is giving you, and play within the offense and attack what the plays are designed to attack. And so some of that is unfortunate. I think you'd love to have that percentage higher. I think an adjusted completion percentage is more what I like to see, but that's just part of it. And, we continue to play the game and showcase other things that we can do as an offense and myself as a passer.
Adrian, you had a chance to go and go to camp with Detroit and obviously didn't work out the way you had wanted it to. And now you find yourself in this position, having so much success in the UFL. Just, I wonder if you have thought about what the difference is maybe in your performance in that tryout with the Lions versus the way you've been able to play it with Birmingham.
Yeah, well, I think I'm a much better player now, a more complete player, a more mature player, and also just gotten more snaps to show what I can do in front of pro scouts. That's all part of it. And another piece of it is taking advantage of your opportunities. I'd say, not to say that I didn't in Detroit, but I'll have a newfound appreciation for hopefully getting another opportunity here this upcoming fall.
Before you get to that, you got a little bit of a game to take care of on Sunday. Only blemish on the record this season is that team that you'll see from San Antonio. What did you see against the Brahmas that gave you guys such struggle back in May, and how do you expect that to be different this weekend?
Yeah, well, they statistically are the best defense in the league. They have a lot of talent on that side of the ball, and their biggest attribute, I would say, is that they're really fast. They fly to the ball everywhere. They flow super hard. They have a great pass rush, and they play very, very hard and as a unit, a great defensive unit. So we're going to have to make sure to bring our A game. Every possession matters. Every down matters. Making sure to stay ahead of the sticks and play our game, dictate the game on our terms.
You obviously have you guys have seen both you and Matt Corral get snaps this season. Is the plan for you to start on Sunday? Have you guys had that discussion yet?
Yeah, no, the plan's for me to start and for me to go ahead and continue playing the way that I have. And all things are on schedule that way. I think it's been a good thing in terms of Matt being here and the way we've ran our offense this season. I think it's kept us both competitive and obviously playing our best ball.
What are some things you've noticed about the level of competition that you're facing week in and week out in the UFL?
Well, it's the best the spring league has ever been. There's only 8 teams. They went from having 8 in the USFL and 8 in the XFL to now having just 8 total teams, 4 for each side, USFL and XFL, to combine to make the UFL. And everyone in this league has NFL experience in some way, shape, or form. We have a guy named Taco, who's a first-round pick to the Cowboys, I don't know.
Taco Charlton? Yeah.
Yeah, he's played in playoff games. We have our tight end, Jay Sternberger. He caught a playoff touchdown from Aaron Rodgers, third-round pick to Green Bay. There's guys, stories like that everywhere around the league. And so it's really cool to see that level of play in spring football. And I think, obviously, everyone's in this league to try and get back into the NFL and really just showcase that they can do it and they can play at that level.
John kind of hit on, obviously you've had your stint in the NFL as well as and getting to see this league. Is there anything that you've seen in the UFL that you think that the NFL could maybe steal and maybe adapt to their game?
Well, I'm excited to see them utilize the special teams rule, which we're not doing this season, but the NFL is adopting the old XFL special teams kickoff rule. That'll be really fun. And I think probably something from this year, it would be the extra point. So no longer is the kicker kicking a 1 point extra point after a touchdown. You either go for a 1 point conversion from the 2 yard line, a 2 point conversion from the 5 yard line, or a 3 point conversion from the 10. And so that really makes every game a little bit closer. 9 points is a one possession game. There's a lot of fun elements to that just changes the dynamic of a typical football game.
Obviously, hopefully we're hoping for a three-peat down in Birmingham. What are the plans for you after Sunday?
Well, I'm going to hang out in St. Louis for an extra day and then figure out what's next. I think there's some downtime in store for me. I'm definitely going to check out the CWS. That's probably number one on my bucket list, and we'll see from there.
Are you going to wear a name tag that says, hi, I'm Adrian, if you go to a game?
I mean, maybe I need to. I still have a little PTSD from that experience, but
we're catching up with Adrian Martinez of the Birmingham Stallions, former Nebraska quarterback. We'll get you out of here on this. I know you got stuff to go do, so I'll get you out of here on this last question. I'll ask you about your least favorite thing to talk about yourself. You win the MVP of this league this season. What does that mean?
It's it means a lot. And you're kind of right. Like I try and move past it a bit. Obviously we have this championship game this Sunday. There's a lot to focus on right now in the present moment, but it's a big accomplishment for me. I mean, I love this game of football and it means the world to be recognized this way and have that sort of success. It truly does. And hopefully there's more in the future, but if not, this is definitely something I can always be proud of.
Man, I've told you 100 times, I'm so proud of you. I'm glad it's worked out, and I'm excited for the future for you. We'll catch up with you down the road. Good luck on Sunday, and hopefully next time we're talking to a champion.
Appreciate that, Jimmy. Thanks for having me on, guys.
That's Adrian Martinez, former Nebraska quarterback, current MVP of the UFL and the Birmingham Stallions. If you missed his segment, check it out at soundcloud.com/afterhours1620. It was brought to you by 402 Barbecue. Block parties are right around the corner. And I'm sure Dad has probably emptied out the bank account buying fireworks for the 4th of July. Doesn't want to work behind the grill for the upcoming block party, but wants to eat something good. Get a hold of 402 Barbecue. They can come cater your event, whatever it may be. They'll bring the food truck out. They'll bring the shaved ice machine out too, so you'll have dinner and dessert with 402 Barbecue. You can call Kelly and the team at 402-618-8274 or stop by 402 Barbecue on 84th and Spring. Grab lunch tomorrow and talk about catering your event with Kelly and the team at 402 Barbecue. Another great place to grab food in town is Cunningham's Pub. There's two great locations. Derek and Leah Richards from Cunningham's is going to join us next. We come back at 1620 The Zone.
Hey everybody, John Schreiner here for Forsman's Finest Decks. You know what is happening in Omaha this weekend. I don't have to tell you, you know all about it. And what goes great with this time of year when baseball's on the TV and the sun is shining brightly? That's right, hanging out on the deck, drinking a few coldies, putting some burgers and some dogs on the grill, hanging out with the friends. But maybe you don't have that special spot out the back of your house to do those kind of things. Well, then you need to call Forsman's Finest Decks. They are going to give you a great outdoor space, whether you want it just for you and the fam, whether you want a great entertainment area, whatever your needs for your outdoor space, Forsman's is going to get it done for you. And if you do have that space already, but you just like to put a cover on it, they can do that for you too. Call Forsman's today or check out forsmansfinest.com. They're going to come out, they're going to build you a deck, and it's going to be great. Get them to do it for you this summer.
The dream of playing the sport you love may be closer than you think. The Bellevue University Athletic Department proudly sports the best scholarship funding among NAIA programs in the state. To compete with the best, we need to recruit the best. All incoming freshmen earn a $5,000 scholarship when they enroll at Bellevue University. Learn more by looking us up at BUBruins.com and reach out to your future coach today.
Jerry Ryan Clothing has been dressing Omaha for over 50 years. Located at 78th and Dodge, they've got you covered for your summer events. Let Johnny O, Mizzen and Maine, Roan, and Peter Millar take care of golf, office, or a night on the town looks. Whether it's a golf polo for the course or completely updating your business casual wardrobe, do it in style. Let Dan, John, Jake, or Deanna take care of your look for any event. As always, free alterations by Mona the Tailor. It's Jerry Ryan Clothing, 78th and Dodge.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Roofing. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Roofing come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
Going Vertical Basketball Academy is the premier sports performance training facility in the Midwest. Working with athletes as young as kindergarten all the way to college and the pros, GVBA offers a variety of packages from individual workouts to group sessions. They also offer elite-level sports performance training for athletes of all sports. Check out the Academy at 10700 Sapp Brothers Drive in Omaha or at GoingVerticalOmaha.com. That's GoingVerticalOmaha.com.
Howdy, Greg Wagner joining you from the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission. Time now for another Nebraska Outdoor Update. Hey, planning a trip to a state park? One of Nebraska's 76 state park lands? Excellent. But don't forget your state park permit, money for camping fees and other activities, a fishing permit if you want to wet a line, and oh yeah, a 6-foot leash for Scruffy, your pet. Thank you, and we hope to see you out there. By the way, you can get all kinds of information on the Nebraska State Park lands through the Game and Parks website. That web address is outdoornebraska.gov. Are you going fishing? I thought so. For proper catch and release fishing this season to ensure fish survival, I want you to remember these important things. Land the fish as quickly as possible. Handle the fish as little as possible. Keep the fish in the water as much as possible. And release the fish as fast as possible. Enjoy your fishing experience, and we'll see you out there. I'm Greg Wagner with Nebraska Game and Parks.
Are you dreaming of your business dominating local Google searches, drawing in customers effortlessly? Look no further. I'm Courtney, the Google gal from Pixel Fire Marketing. Need assistance with your Google business profile? From verification to getting more reviews, fixing maps to tackling annoying Google calls? I've got you covered. Your profile sets you apart and ensures you're the top choice for local customers. Visit fixmygbp.com for our $297 special offer. Visit fixmygbp.com for more details.
Over the past few years, the COVID-19 pandemic has affected how we live our daily lives. Today, we also face a mental health pandemic that threatens our well-being as we attempt to rebuild our social networks and communities.
The pandemic has reminded us to value family, community, and our human connections. However, it has also left many of us feeling more isolated, confused, and alone, struggling to find meaning amid loss and uncertainty.
Today, 1 in 5 Americans experience emotional and mental health challenges, but many of us do not understand what we are facing or know how to ask for help.
At the American Psychiatric Association Foundation, we understand what you are going through, and we are here to help. Our vision is to build a mentally healthy nation for all. We work every day to eliminate stigma, combat mental illness and substance use disorders, and advance mental health. If you or someone you love needs help, you are not alone. Please visit mentallyhealthynation.org to learn more.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
Welcome back inside the After Hours Lounge. It's 6:34 on a Thursday night here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Bellevue University. Head over to bellevue.edu. Register for classes. You don't even have to go to school on Fridays. Most of your classes are online. It is the premier college experience in the Midwest. If you want the premier bar experience in the Midwest, we got 2 options for you. They're both Cunningham's. There's one on Old Mill Road off 108th, and as well as in the historic Blackstone District. And our friends from Cunningham's, Derek and Leah Richards, join us here on After Hours Night. Derek, thanks for being here. Yeah, thanks for having me. First and foremost, congratulations on your anniversary. We're happy that you guys took time on your busy night to be here with us to do this. So thank you very much.
Of course, it's kind of way things worked out.
Oh, yeah. you brought some stuff in with you tonight. We want to let people know that if you're looking for somewhere to take Dad for Father's Day, you guys have a chicken fried chicken special this Sunday. Can you kind of show that up to the camera for our folks that are
what
watching?
we're doing here, we've got our fried chicken, 2 eggs, 2 slices of bacon, and these are our home fries, which is like a Cajun seasoned potato. And then we top that with our spicy sausage gravy.
Well, that looks
which is
incredible.
made in-house. A lot of heavy cream and flour.
Everybody watching on the YouTube stream,
so
you
I
can
don't know if you can see.
you
that.
can purchase this tonight, right? This isn't just specific.
This
to,
is on Sunday.
It's only on Sunday. Okay.
So we typically do this on Wednesdays, and then we're doing it for Sunday for Father's Day.
How pissed was your kitchen staff that you made them make one tonight?
I know. I let them know early. Honestly, I thought the same thing. I'm like, are they going to get this stuff out? But no, I let them know. So they were more than happy.
Man,
to
I
make
love
it.
this job.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we've been doing this special for a while with the spicy sausage gravy.
That looks incredible,
chicken. The potatoes we actually had on our honeymoon we were in San Francisco or something.
Okay.
And I ate these at another restaurant, and the guy explained how he did them, and he's like, "You're not going to steal these, are you?" And I'm like, "I live in Nebraska." Like,
oh, go ahead.
You
Please
can take him to Nebraska. That's fine.
Yes. Let me ask you, where's Nebraska?
So, yeah, we came back and I had the guys try them. They're like, "We got to do something with the potatoes and the fried chicken."
I'm so
That's
excited
awesome.
to eat that. By the way,
That's really good. And then you also brought in the wings, which are the smoked wings. And I got to tell you, man, the smoke flavor on those things is just perfect. They're so good. What's the process of making these things?
So the wings are we get always fresh wings in, which does make a big difference having the fresh wings.
Absolutely.
And then we marinate them so they go into a brine for 24 hours, drain them, then we rub them and smoke them for another 2.5 hours after that. And then when you guys come in, we grill them to order. So they never go in a fryer. It's in the brining process and the smoking, they stay nice and juicy. So
That's awesome.
You guys have 2 locations out on 108th and Old Mill, and then down in the Blackstone district. I frequent the 108th and Old Mill location a lot. I haven't had a chance to stop down at the Blackstone location. What are the differences between the 2 spots?
Well, I mean, I would say the biggest difference is just kind of the environment, and the Blackstone one's a little different because the building's 100 years old.
Yeah.
You got all the brick in there. So it's the vibe and it's just really chill. And our Old Mill location, I mean, it's bigger. We've got a big party room in there. And I mean, we've been down there for like 10 years now. But the Blackstone has got, it's just, I don't know how to describe it. You just got to stop in and check it out.
Yeah, please do.
The brick with the old feeling, we kind of left the space wide open. So and it's weird when you go in, you got to go through the side door.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted people to have to go down kind of like a speakeasy,
Sure,
come around the side. So you can kind of take it in when you walk in, but lots of big TVs, all that jazz, bunch of good beer on tap. We do cocktails on tap also. So, but
You guys have had the Old Mill location for a while. You said like 10 years, right?
we've been open now for 14 years.
Yeah.
We originally started at 120th and Blondo in 2010, and then we kind of outgrew that space and moved to our Old Mill location. We actually had a great relationship with like TD Ameritrade.
Yeah.
And we were looking at new locations, and they were building that building, and then the Old Mill spot, we
followed them,
and we're like,
yeah,
this is going to work out.
Yeah.
It worked out really well for us.
So what was the process of deciding to open that second location?
I don't know. We wanted more work.
Risk, yeah.
No, it kind of we were working on our lease actually at our current location. We'd been there 10 years, so we needed to do a new lease. So we got some guys to help us with it. And we get the lease all worked out at Old Mill, and the gentleman that was helping us, Pat, was like, "Hey, by the way, I know a spot that's opening. You guys would be a good fit. You want to come on down and check it out?" So we're like, sure. And we went and looked at it. We're like, this would be a great fit.
What you guys do fits into that neighborhood really well too.
And honestly, in like Blackstone, we were kind of concerned about size, for like a sports bar-esque type of place.
Yeah.
And we do a lot of large parties. Our Blackstone location will have a party room here in a couple weeks.
Oh, very cool.
So we were kind of concerned, like, ever moving into
That's pretty unique for that area, right? There aren't too many party rooms in there, are there?
No, yeah, to have something that big. And when we looked at it, we're like, well, this is big. This will work for Cunningham's. And we just kind of went from there.
You mentioned it. You guys have beer on tap. You have cocktails on tap. Talk to us about the tap takeovers, what all that involves, and how that's kind of unique to what Cunningham's is doing.
So we started doing those years ago, and we kind of, the last few years we haven't done them as often.
Yeah.
And we're really booting that back up now. And what we do is we just pick either a local brewery or a national brewery, and then we put them on tap for 4 to 6 weeks. And then at the end, we give away custom prizes.
Very cool.
So we do like one of the big ones that people really like are these canvas prints from the brewery. So it's like a custom beer sign to take home. The last one we did with White Elm, we did a custom backlit, like LED lit White Elm sign that was out of I made it out of walnut.
Oh, okay.
And it hangs on the wall.
You personally made it?
I did. Yeah.
Very cool. Okay.
I enjoy woodworking. It's with my free.
Weren't you making a buffet the last time I talked to you?
I am
Yeah,
making
okay.
the buffets for our new party room, which has been hot. It's just like the heat. I'm getting older.
Can you explain to our listeners how they can get involved in the tap takeovers and become and register for those prizes?
Just come in.
Okay.
So the way it works, you come in, you drink the beer. Over the course of the month, we have a punch card. So you take the punch card with you. You drink 3 beers. It's a completed punch card. And then when we give the prize away, you just come in, you write your name on it, drop it in the bucket, and then we draw for it. And we do the drawings at like 7:00, typically on Wednesdays. So we'll do anywhere from 4 to 6 takeovers a year. So right now we've got 5.
Alex on Twitter wants to know, can you give us a sneak preview what the first 2 are going to be?
The first
The
2.
taps. You said they're coming up.
Oh, well, we've got Founders going on right now.
Okay.
Which we actually did to just kind of kick things off again. So we've got Founders just started 2 weeks ago. And the next one we're going with local guys. We're going to go with Cross Train.
There you go. Okay.
So with Cross Train, we're going to do 3 canvases at each location is the goal. So we'll have 3 winners to come in. And in the middle of that, we're going to do like a beer Olympics because the Olympics is going on at the same time.
What's your event? I know there's an answer. What's your event? In
My
the beer
event?
Olympics? Yeah.
I'm going to do the Stein holding
There it is. Okay.
competition. I feel like that's the one.
Right on.
I'm excited about that.
I think when you talk about sports bars, we usually get like there's the standard bar food fare. I think you guys do it a little differently. The food at Cunningham's is so good. I just like what goes into the menu planning and what you decide to put on that menu.
Well, when we started Cunningham's, it was I have a culinary background, so I went to culinary school in '98.
Brother, it shows.
I just honestly, I grew up in a small town, and the restaurant in that small town had the best food. I grew up in Axtell, in this place called the Orange Coach, and I just kind of thought that was what bar food was like, because Don was the owner and the chef there, and we would go there and like the cheeseburgers were always good. He did prime rib that was awesome, and people would come from all over. I was like, this is awesome. And then I moved and got to some other towns, and I was like, apparently that's
very unique.
the
Yeah.
standard fare. So when I'm at culinary school, like we got to try a bunch of different stuff, and but I always loved I'm a Nebraska fan.
Yep,
sure.
So eating like Runzas and cheeseburgers and chicken wings is just like
All the healthy
what we
stuff.
do. Yeah. Nebraska salads. But so when we started this up, I'm like, well, why don't we just kind of try to step up the menu that we do, and we marinate. So like the chicken wings, like taking the time to marinate them, smoke them. We do that with all the chicken, all the hamburgers. Like we have our own rub that we make that we rub the hamburgers with when they go on the grill. So it's just little stuff.
I mean, you
like
can
that.
taste the personalization of the food too, and I think that's a big deal. I don't know how many restaurants or bars can say that where it actually everything feels almost ready-made ordered. You know what I mean? Like you order it, it's being made for you in that moment.
It's kind of a tough time in the restaurant industry,
Sure.
just with staffing and everything. And a lot of companies are going to companies are basically like, here's a menu you can execute, and it'll save you labor, and everything just comes in on a truck. And we've been really blessed, honestly. I've had the same guy running my kitchen for like the last 8 years. He's worked for me for
His name is
15 years. Chef Jose.
Shout out to Chef Jose.
He is an awesome.
We wanted to make
dude.
sure we give him some
He
love.
started with us as a dishwasher, stuck with us, and now he runs the kitchen.
That's incredible.
He's a great dude. And he's really engaged, really likes to make good food. And I love when he invites me to stuff.
We're catching up with Derek Richards of Cunningham's Pub here on After Hours on 1620 Zone. You mentioned football a minute ago and being a Nebraska fan. We're just 79 days away from kickoff. You guys are a great spot for Nebraska football games, but also you're bringing Sunday ticket to Cunningham's this year. What can people expect if they're coming in on Saturday and Sundays for NFL and college football games?
So NFL, we kind of do NFL in a different way. Like we put the games on, so we have like a placard that goes under each TV. So when you roll in, you can kind of like set up shop with your game on. So we
Oh,
don't
okay.
necessarily have like a team for the bar. I grew up in the 90s. It was all Huskers
Sure. Yep.
all the time. Like
The NFL is an afterthought.
yeah, it was like we've got Saturday football. I'm not worried about NFL. So when we got this going, I just would watch just kind of anybody, and that's kind of the way the bar developed. I mean, the Broncos had a good run with us, and then the Chiefs,
Sure.
But it's kind of like everybody's welcome, and it's fun to see because there's so many different jerseys. I still think back to like 10 years ago, this guy had a Buffalo Bills jersey, and I'm like, you're a
God
real
bless you.
fan,
Yeah.
dude.
You're a
I mean, it was
sicko.
old. It was like 20 years old.
Yeah.
I'm like, you've been doing this. So it's kind of like we don't really have like a home team. We pick a sound for what game we think is going to be big for the weekend.
Smart.
And it just changes every week. So it's not always the same team. And I love the crowd because it's just a bunch of different fans watching like all the different screens. So it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it.
And then you have a special thing you do with the wings for Husker games.
So this year we are kicking off. We're gonna do so we smoke all the wings, and then we typically cool them and grill them to order. But for the Husker game, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start the smoker before the game starts, and then when they're done, we're gonna sell them to everybody that's in watching the Husker game. So you literally get wings right out of the smoker.
That's gonna be amazing.
And they come out to you. It is so good right out of the smoker. So we're really excited to try this year.
During our show, and I'm sure you did this uniquely for us, you guys have $6 and $8 happy hours Tuesday through Friday from 3 to 6. What do those specials look like, and what does the $6, $8 reference to?
Oh, it's just so we've got a food menu that we do. We take some of our we've added, so we've got like a brisket tacho or tachos that we do with it. It's a smoked brisket. And then we do our Irish nachos are on special. And then we've got these meatballs that are just fantastic that we toss in wing sauce, which are absolutely fantastic. We have a blueberry sriracha sauce that on the meatballs is just killer. And then at the same time, from that 3 to 6 time, we do $2 off all craft beer. We're big craft beer fans.
Yeah.
So we really lean into like the craft beer, the local stuff. So that's what you find. That's where that's what we kind of push is the craft beer scene.
Joe on Facebook wants to know how many craft beers do you guys have available in the bar? Do you know?
30.
Wow. Okay.
In Old Mill, we've got 30. And then in Blackstone, we've got 16. So we've got a few less down there, but it's still a good array.
Well, you let me know when you get the Odell taps in, and when you get me that chocolate milk stout. I'll be there in a minute.
I'll tell you, Odell IPA for a very long time ruled the roost. You could not be a craft beer bar without Odell.
That
IPA.
chocolate milk stout does it for me, man. I'm telling you.
I'm not a huge. I don't drink as many stouts anymore as I used to. I don't know.
We're obviously going to do the Wing and Whiskey Wednesday coming up. Going forward, we're going to do this bi-weekly where we have you come in and educate us on something going on tap.
Yeah, I'm
or what
really
you guys
excited.
have in the bar. And we're going to get. I didn't ask. Are we giving away a gift card tonight? I should have. This is my job. I should have asked
We
this. Do
certainly
we
can.
want to? Okay, we're going to tweet out a gift. Follow us on. We're going to switch up a little bit. We're going to do Facebook and Twitter. We've done it previously only on Twitter. We want to help get Cunningham's follow up on Facebook as well. So either retweet or share the gift. We're going to tweet out on both of our social media platforms. Follow us. Follow the bar. We'll enter you into a drawing to win a $25 gift card to either one of Cunningham's great locations tonight. Again, if you don't have anything to do with Dad on Father's Day, stop out of Cunningham's and grab some of this fried chicken. My mouth is watering just staring at this thing. It looks amazing. I do have one more question, though, and it is for the other person in the room. So she has to come up and grab the microphone. Leah, if you don't mind, we have a question for you in regards to the bar. Can you just kind of talk about how Cunningham's has developed over the last 2 to 3 years and what's different about the bar industry now than it was maybe 3 years ago?
Loaded, yeah. Well, definitely from the last few years, you just see more people getting back out, more loose, having fun, wanting to meet their friends. And I think that was a big reason for us wanting to do the second location. We love what we do and we love being around other people. So I think it's changed. People want to be social. They want to eat good food when they go out and not waste that time. I think where we are at in our stage of life, it's like, I want to make it count. I want to go out, drink something good, have some good food, And yeah, I think people, how has it changed? You get your information from a million different places. And I think from a advertising marketing perspective, that's what I do for Cunningham's. You know, I like to have fun with it. You got to be everywhere. And the social media aspect, I like showing pictures of good food.
That looks fantastic. We're
fun.
very excited about this. That is Derek and Leah Richards from Cunningham's Pub. They love us so much. They wanted to come in and spend their anniversary with us. We appreciate that. If you haven't been to one of the two great locations, you could stop by tonight. Go ahead and follow us on social media, on Twitter or Facebook at After Hours 1620. Make sure you follow the bar as well. Retweet or share the GIF we're about to post. We haven't done it yet. We'll get you into a drawing to win a $25 gift card to one of their two great locations tonight. Again, 108th and Old Mill, or down in the historic Blackstone District. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Looking forward to talking to you in a couple weeks again.
Thanks, guys.
We'll be right back, finding out what's trending on social media when we come back on 1620 The Zone. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for Bob Williams with Williams Law. Summertime is here, and listen, that big college baseball tournament that's always here, it's coming up. It's the eve of it, and if you getting after it a little bit too hard and find yourself in trouble down around downtown Omaha this time of year, call 402-522-6317. Let Williams Law represent you, walk you through the process, explain your rights, and represent you today. Call 402-522-6317. Get a free, no-obligation legal consultation with Williams Law today.
Are you looking to be part of a winning tradition? The Bellevue University Bruins could be the right fit for you. Whether on the court or on the field, track or course, our student athletes strive and succeed. This year, Bellevue teams and individuals have combined to win 11 conference championships, with 8 teams qualifying for their national tournaments. Plus, nearly 50 student athletes were also named to all conference teams. Find out more about our tradition of excellence at BUBruins.com.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI, or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Roofing. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Roofing come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
Are you ready to elevate your taste buds? Look no further than Pepper Jacks, your go-to destination for bold flavors and endless choices. Dive into their mouth-watering rice bowls, crisp salads, hearty Phillies, savory burritos, and loaded nachos. What sets them apart? Complete customization. Choose your base, proteins, toppings, and sauces for a personalized culinary adventure. At Pepper Jacks, it's not just a meal, it's an experience. Unleash your cravings and savor the bold tastes at Pepper Jacks today. Life's too short for bland. Spice it up at Pepper Jacks.
Ready to make a positive impact in a young boy's life? Join Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands and become a mentor where you are matched up with a boy in the greater Omaha area. Over 50 boys are waiting for someone like you to guide and inspire them. Visit mentoromaha.org and sign up to make a difference in a boy's life. Don't wait. Make a lasting impact today.
Hey, you hear that? That's the sound of loose change in your pocket reminding you to buy a 99-cent medium fountain drink from Casey's. So the next time you hear this, you already know where to go. 99-cent medium fountain drinks. It's not crazy. It's Casey's.
Howdy, Greg Wagner joining you from the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission. Time now for another Nebraska Outdoor Update. Hey, planning a trip to a state park? One of Nebraska's 76 state park lands? Excellent. But don't forget your state park permit, money for camping fees and other activities, a fishing permit if you want to wet a line, and oh yeah, a 6-foot leash for Scruffy, your pet. Thank you, and we hope to see you out there. By the way, you can get all kinds of information on the Nebraska State Park lands through the Game and Parks website. That web address is outdoornebraska.gov. Are you going fishing? I thought so. For proper catch and release fishing this season to ensure fish survival, I want you to remember these important things. Land the fish as quickly as possible. Handle the fish as little as possible. Keep the fish in the water as much as possible. And release the fish as fast as possible. Enjoy your fishing experience, and we'll see you out there. I'm Greg Wagner with Nebraska Game and Parks.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Hop into the driver's seat of a new Ford truck or SUV now at Baxter Ford. Choose from hundreds of new Ford F-150s, F-150 Lightnings, F-250s, and F-350s. Baxter Ford has over 250 new SUV models available, including Bronco, Bronco Sport, Escape, Edge, Explorer, Expedition, and more. Plus, all our vehicles come with fair, transparent pricing and no dealer fees. So you only pay for the vehicle, not the paperwork. Get started at BaxterFord.com.
You are listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
All right, you're going to have to bear with us here. Cunningham's brought in wings and a chicken fried chicken. We were trying to scarf them down during the commercial break.
Yeah, real quick, you dorks better not eat all the chicken fried chicken before I get over there.
There's a little bit left for
There's
you.
still some, Dan. It's delicious.
It wasn't Derek's fault. I didn't let him know he should. I didn't know what he was bringing in. So I was like, he's like, "Can I bring food in?" I said, "Yes, please." And then he'll be better equipped for next time for the all of us yahoos to stuff our face.
Those wings are
yeah,
killer,
we are. Derek, if
Oh
you're
my
listening, we're
gosh,
not
so
complaining anyway.
good.
Amazing. We are brought to you by Bellevue University, by the way. If you're looking for the premier college experience this fall, head over to bellevue.edu. Register for classes. Become a Bruin tonight. It is time for the social media soundbite where Dan Campenden puts down his wings and plays some clip from the internet. Dan, what do you got for us?
Oh, I got a little something for you. Should probably turn off the music first. Why does everyone do this?
This is your take.
The sales pitch of a lifetime.
It's great, isn't
that
it?
was amazing. Listen, he's not wrong. Nebraska, and it seems to me Omaha does this thing. If it's a team that hasn't been here in a while or ever been here, they do tend to rally around.
That's how we ended the press conference.
Yeah, mic drop on the way out. But he's right. I mean, that's the thing about the series. Is in some way it does kind of suck that it's all ACC, SEC teams. If you're listening to us, welcome. But there's a ton of flavor sprinkled throughout this college World Series. So it's a ton of fun to see a bunch of Nebraska teams, not just one Kentucky that have come back and play in Omaha, but there's a flavor locally throughout all of the roster. Throughout this men's college World Series, but talking about a sales pitch, I understand why guys are going to play for him because that's about as good as you get.
Yeah, and it was just I said I think when we were talking about which teams when we got the field, I think the Kentucky fans are going to show up. Being the first time that Kentucky's ever been in the College World Series, I'm expecting a big turnout from the Cats.
Did you see any of Big Blue Nation while you were down there today? Because you were setting up this afternoon.
Yeah, I was inside the press room all day, so I didn't get a chance to go out and mill around or anything. But I don't know. It just seems like for a school that supports their athletics so well, that it seems like a no-brainer that we're going to see a lot of blue.
Yeah, I would be surprised, and honestly, they're one of the closer teams as far as Kentucky is.
Yeah,
I think they're the second or the third closest team to the vicinity of Charles Schwab Field for this tournament. So, they travel for everything, though. Their basketball team gets a ton of credit because of their success. They travel really well for football too. I will be surprised. I'm going to go on a limb here. I'll be surprised if they're not the most represented team this weekend.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I mean, I think there will be plenty of A&M fans as well. And look, the Florida fans travel pretty well also. And
yeah, but they've been here before.
They're used to being here. So I'm excited. I think it's going to be a fun series. And like you said, if you're looking for a team, there is a Nebraska kid on the first timers. So,
and if I can add to Coach's sales pitch there, Rocky Top sucks.
It's a bad song.
Texas A&M, they wear the weird white jumpsuits. No one likes a white jumpsuit.
Dan, out on the military.
Out on Texas A&M. Support the troops. And yeah, Florida just sucks. Why would you want to do a Gator chomp when you can hear some, yell out "Go Cats"? "Go Cats" is the greatest phrase of all time. And I was a Wildcat, so I got to stick with my Wildcats.
Okay.
That was our social media soundbite. If you missed it tonight, check it out. SoundCloud.com/AfterHours1620 was brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing. You got a website? Does it kind of suck? Does it suck as bad as the Florida Gator chomp, according to Dan Campion? You can get it updated with Pixel Fire Marketing. Head over to pixelfiremarketing.com today. They have affordable options. They got an option that can blow your socks off if you need the best website with the most information you can fit on it. They can do it all and fit it into a package that fits your needs. Check out pixelfiremarketing.com for more details today. Did Tiger Woods do it to us again? We debate. We come back here on 1620 Zone. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for our friends at Pyramid Roof Contractors. Listen, I walked outside last night. I saw a wall cloud above my house. I saw the storm that was headed for the South Omaha and Council Bluffs area. If you were affected by the storm last night, you had hail damage on your roof, maybe your siding's been dinged up, let the #1 roofer in Omaha, 12 consecutive years, come out, take care of your roof, your windows, your gutters, your siding. They do it all, and most importantly, they're going to be here long after the storms are gone to guarantee that warranty that they put on your roof, and guarantee the work they do with local contractors right here in Omaha. Check out pyramidroof.com to get a free estimate today.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
Block Party Planners! 4th of July is almost here. Maybe your 4th favorite niece is finally graduating after 6 years of high school. Whatever big event you have coming up, you're going to need food and a sweet treat to go along with it. You're in luck. 402 Barbecue is here to help. From the best barbecue in the 402 to a shaved ice machine, have 402 Barbecue cater your event and they'll have you covered. Call 402-618-8274 and have the 402 Barbecue truck cater your event today.
Going Vertical Basketball Academy is the premier sports performance training facility in the Midwest. Working with athletes as young as kindergarten all the way to college and the pros, GVBA offers a variety of packages from individual workouts to group sessions. They also offer elite-level sports performance training for athletes of all sports. Check out the Academy at 10700 Sap Brothers Drive in Omaha or at GoingVerticalOmaha.com. That's GoingVerticalOmaha.com.
Don't keep up with the Joneses. Blow the Joneses out of the water and have everyone talking about your house this summer. Let Forsman's Finest Decks come build you a deck, put a cover on it, and give your house the much-needed facelift it deserves. Forsman's Finest Decks has been improving homes in the Omaha area for more than half a decade. With over 135 five-star reviews, you're not going to regret your decision to enjoy the finer things. Check out Forsman'sFinest.com and have your dream deck built this summer. Forsman's Finest Decks, building the finest decks in Omaha.
Summertime is finally here. Loading up a tailgate for the College Baseball National Championship Tournament? Make sure your cooler is stocked with ice-cold Coca-Cola products from Hy-Vee. You can get half-liter 6-packs of Coca-Cola just $2 for $9. 6 packs of 20-ounce Body Armor for just $5.99 at your local Hy-Vee. You can also get an 8-pack of 12-ounce Powerades for as low as $4.99 in participating stores. Chesterman Coca-Cola, keeping the ping of the bat hydrated this summer.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
$7:07 on a Thursday night here on 1620 The Zone. Jimmy Allen, that is John Schreiber, Dan Caper, and Brody Heidemann with us tonight as well. We'll take your phone calls, 402-951-1620. You can get at the show at After Hours 1620, where I'm going to tweet and post on Facebook the GIF of our wings tonight to get you entered in a drawing to win a $25 gift card to to Cunningham's Pub. That'll be the last time I do that.
Anymore.
Yeah, not them anymore. Shout out to Jay and the guys. They're friends with Derek. That's fine. But to Cunningham's Pub tonight to get a $25 gift card to one of their two great locations, either in the historic Blackstone district or on 108th and Old Mill Road. Dan Campbell, it's time for Bar Sell. What do you got for us?
Well, Tiger Woods had a great start to the U.S. Open today. Birdied a hole, and then he just kind of fell apart, shooting 4 over by the end of the day. Buy or sell, we ever see Tiger win a major again?
I have not grabbed the shovel yet. I've not been willing to throw the dirt on Eldrick's career. I think I'm doing it today, boys. He got my hopes up this morning. I was watching it. I was listening to it in the drive. He was doing well, and then I got to my destination, and I saw the first iron situation, and it was all downhill from there. I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to do it. I don't think he's going to win another one.
No, I've been on this bandwagon for a while. I sell. I don't think Tiger will ever win another major. His body is so beaten up at this point. Look, he barely kept his leg after
that's a good point.
A car accident. He already had severe back problems. Like, this guy is a beloved sports figure and did so much for the game of golf. And you can't fault him for continuing to try.
No, you can't at all.
But it's just not. It's not going to happen. The time has passed now.
And I think it's less about. Well, it is. Never mind. It's all about his physical shape, because you see him out there on the golf course, and you're like, oh, maybe the old Tiger's back. But he's not as aggressive with some of the lines he was taking. And I really thought
that's a good point.
if there ever was a tournament that he would win, it would be U.S. Open at Pinehurst.
And he's almost said that too. He's talked about how well he's played this course and how favorable it is with the way he has to get around. So you're not wrong in that, in my opinion.
Yeah, and this was, I mean, Pinehurst is the course that is set up for Tiger's game the best, but unfortunately it's set up better for a much younger version of Mr. Woods.
His irons just didn't look good today.
Yeah, not at all, to say the least. Dan, what do you got?
So, well, speaking of not good looks, the Falcons have been fined $250,000 and a 5th-round draft pick in relation to free agency signings, including Kirk Cousins. Buy or sell, the punishment fits the crime.
Yeah, if the punishment is you cheated on your math test, this is a slap on the wrist, to say the least. Tell me you don't care about tampering without telling me you don't care about tampering. This is how you do it. The NFL does not care. They're not going to care going forward either. This is as minute of an I mean, they might as well not have done anything. It would have the same exact effect.
Like, I don't understand why we're punishing teams for this anymore.
Because everybody does it?
Yeah, what's the point? I mean, if you're going to have free agents and they have a decision coming up, like, I understand, like, you don't want people to try and convince other players to leave their current, whatever, fine. But if this person is in the final year of their contract and they have a free agency, like, what's the point? What's the difference? I mean, the tampering rules I don't get. Like, it seems a little bit silly. And then to have this non-punishment of a punishment be the penalty for tampering, it just, the whole thing smacks of just, we're doing this for show.
Yeah, we're going to pretend we care.
Also, I am actually going to buy. I think the punishment fits the crime perfectly because the Falcons here are getting kicked in 2 ways. They're, I guess, 3 ways. They're losing a draft pick.
What are they, Urban
They have
Meyer?
to pay $250,000. And
Ooh.
oh wait,
They get
John,
scary.
this will flip you, John. And they have to pay Kirk Cousins after this year
That's a good
because
point.
there's no way he's finishing out playing that full contract.
Well, we'll see.
Dan?
All right. Due to weather issues in Florida, the Panthers' travel was delayed to Edmonton. Panthers arrived late last night with less than 24 hours till puck drop. Well, about 15 minutes ago. Buy or sell, these travel issues will affect the Panthers right now as they try to take a 3-0 lead in the Stanley Cup final.
I doubt it. I mean, these are professionals. They travel all the time. Yeah, jet lag is a thing for you and I, but I mean, it's one of those things that travel doesn't really affect guys that travel this much as often as they do to destinations like this. I don't think it's going to be a problem at all.
No, and it's also partly due to the way Florida plays the game. I mean, they're not as much of an up and down the ice, free flowing, fast and furious kind of hockey team. They're more methodical. They like to play 5-on-5. They're really good defensively. I don't know that it has much of an impact. I think Florida was always going to win.
Thoughts, Dan?
So no thoughts, but did either of you 3 hear the air traffic controller as the Panthers were trying to land in Edmonton?
Was this going to be your social media soundbite, by the way? I was going to suggest it.
It was going to be because I thought it was the funniest thing I've ever heard. Hey, you got to burn off fuel before you make it into Edmonton
Don't you know?
so that they can actually not land in Edmonton and then they have to take a bus trip. I didn't realize that they were so far behind schedule and that the weather really held them up this much. So what a bunch of jerks Canadians are. I never thought that sentence would come out of my mouth.
You gotta burn that there gas, don't you know?
All right, moving on to a little basketball. UConn head coach Dan Hurley says the Lakers deal was not a leverage play, saying he has already agreed to the terms of his UConn contract. Buy or sell? We believe Dan Hurley.
Sell. Why else would you do this? Listen, you know what's going to happen? Right about the end of October, you're going to see a newly structured deal for UConn head coach Dan Hurley. Yes, he got that deal in the past from UConn. He's going to get a massive another one for A, another national championship, but B, turning down the Los Angeles Lakers.
I kind of buy it. I think I believe him because this is a guy who said he would like to get back to the NBA, and this was a chance to go with the premier franchise in the NBA for a whole lot of money.
I have some beachfront property in Idaho that I'd love to
I don't
sell
know. I
you.
kind of buy it. I think he wants to come. He actually wanted to come back and go for a third national title. I think that's actually the case.
And I'm right down the middle on that one.
You know what? I
can't
believe
put my thumb on Dan
I
Hurley
believe
for the
he
life of me.
I believe he had some interest in the Lakers, but I think there was also that part of him that was like, well, we could also use this. Dan, I think you're right. I think there's a happy medium. But the fact that he's saying there was no point, there was no advantage of leveraging this, he's so full of it.
Yeah. Well, my problem is like right down the middle is like, on one hand, I'm like, it's definitely a leverage play because Dan Hurley is a piece of trash and he's a smarmy kind of guy.
You suck, Dan Hurley.
But then on like the other hand, I'm like, but I do genuinely, when he was in the press conference after the second national title and they were like, oh, what's next for you? He's like, I'm going to win a third one.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
He's at the UFC event holding up 3 fingers and stuff.
I was like, I believe it.
Can I just interrupt for a minute? We have our first Rocco's Jello shot board update.
Oh,
Dan, we need a drop for this.
I'll make one.
So here we go. In the early lead, thank you very much. Taking my bows now. Kentucky with already 126 Jello shots purchased.
I think we need
Let's go.
I think we need a sound effect for the leader too. So if it's like the Wildcats, we need like the wow, which is an awful sound.
North Carolina not far behind with 107.
I will make you were big on the Wildcats. I think North Carolina wins the Jello shot board by the end. I think we see a strong surge from the folks from Lexington, and then our friends at Chapel Hill take home the crown.
And as is customary, Virginia's in last with only 29 shots purchased,
which is maybe an all-time high for them.
It might be.
Was that did somebody was trying to contact us about their extended car warranty?
Yes, it was.
Nice. Okay. Last question.
Last question. Gentlemen, put your hands over your hearts and with tears in your eyes, we mourn the downfall of Joey Chestnut.
Whoa. This is not a downfall. This is not a downfall. You hold your tongue. I'll let you finish, but go ahead.
We mourn the downfall of Joey Chestnut, not of his own volition.
Thank you.
Nathan's did him dirty. Yes, the hot dog giant Nathan's and owner of Coney Island has kicked Joey Chestnut out of the July 4th hot dog eating contest.
Correct.
Is that literally what
That's
it is?
what it's
just
called.
a hot dog eating
The
contest?
4th of July, Nathan's hot dog eating contest. Yes.
Good for him. Because he signed with Beyond Meat to eat vegan Franks. To be a spokesperson for vegan meat. Buy or sell, Nathan's is the righteous one in this.
Sell! Pay! If you want him to eat your hot dogs and represent you and wear a yellow mustard belt for you, pay him the money to do it. It is a capitalist society, and you have lost the bidding war. And this is your fault. Nathan's hot dogs should be ashamed of themselves for doing this, by the way. And I'm being dead serious about that.
Yeah, I'm selling too because it's petty. Like it's honestly very petty. Like everybody knows this is the guy. This is who everyone's tuning in to see.
He's won your contest 17 times.
He's the draw. And now you're saying because he signed an endorsement deal with a not meat company.
No. It's not even the fact that they're vegan. It's the fact that they sell hot dogs. So
Right.
they're a competitor.
That aren't meat.
Yeah.
And now he can't do your contest because he has an endorsement deal.
You know what?
It's so petty. It's very, very petty.
What's the company called? Beyond Meat. You know, they should just do their own contest. Do it in Vegas.
Yeah.
And
they're doing the Kobayashi versus Chestnut thing.
Yes, on Netflix. There's going to they've rescheduled Tyson versus Paul, and in place of that is going to be Joey Chestnut versus Kobayashi, which all of us would rather watch anyway. So thank you, Netflix.
I was going to say, honestly, a better heavyweight bout.
Yeah, without doubt, by the way. Yeah, and that is going to be a Netflix special that I will be watching. But if I'm Joey Chestnut, I'm hopping in my DeLorean, getting up to 88 miles an hour, and I'm going back to the late 80s. I'm going like Ric Flair heel in this thing. I am becoming the bad guy of competition eating and making Nathan's wear it every chance I get, by the way.
I just don't understand. Like, I mean, I get it because of like brand relationships and all that stuff, but
it's super. This is how rich people market on. This is how rich people argue. They think they do, though. They think they do. But if I'm Joey Chestnut, like I'm showing up to the Kobayashi thing, like with the brand logo for the new place spray painted on it, NWO style, and like holding the belt up, like giving the middle finger to the camera.
Whoever wins it this year is going to win it with an asterisk.
Yeah, absolutely, and everybody's going to feel that way. And I'll say this: even if they beat Chestnut's record, it will still have an asterisk next to it.
Yeah, which they won't.
To be the man, you got to beat the man.
Oh, I guarantee you, no one beats Joey Chestnut's record for the next 5, maybe even 10 years.
Hey, if you missed Buy or Sell tonight, want to find out what's coming to Netflix near you after they just raised their prices by $11 a month, you can do it at SoundCloud.com/AfterHours1620. Was brought to you by Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sports. We told you earlier to go to Cunningham's for Father's Day. You can be the best dressed father in the bar if you stop by Jerry Ryan's on the way down. It's right there on 78th and Dodge, right by the Old Mill location. You can stop in, get dad a nice time. Maybe you want to make sure your father looks good more than just on June 16th. You can get him a brand new suit courtesy of Jerry Ryan. They have the premier suit buying experience in the Midwest. You don't dress Omaha for over 50 years by accident. Stop by, see Dan, John, and the crew, and tell them that After Hours sent you. We'll be right back. Speaking of corporate sponsorships, the trail continues.
Hey, everybody, John Schreiner here for Amber Best. Hey, do you have a home that you're trying to list on the market? I want to tell you about Amber Best Real Estate with Berkshire Hathaway. Amber's going to give you all the answers to all the questions you may have. If you're not getting those questions answered with the current relationship you may have with a real estate agent, you need to call Amber. She is one of the best in the metro at getting you listed, getting your house sold quickly, and other things related to property ownership here in the metro area. Maybe you're trying to build your portfolio through investment properties. She can help you with that too. Amber herself is an owner of investment properties. She knows all the ins, all the outs, where to go, what to do, and she can give you the best advice, no matter what your questions about home ownership may be. So visit Amber Best, that's AmberBESS.com, and get your house off the market today.
Your Omaha area forecast presented by Funplex Water Park and Rides from the KETV Newswatch 7 Weather Center on 1620 The Zone.
Mostly sunny to partly cloudy this evening, breezy with that temperature staying in the 80s. Later tonight, mostly clear. We'll drop back in the lower 60s for a low. And then partly cloudy skies are on the way for Friday with a high temperature topping out in the upper 80s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Ranby from KETV Newswatch 7.
Block party planners. 4th of July is almost here. Maybe your 4th favorite niece is finally graduating after 6 years of high school. Whatever big event you have coming up, you're going to need food and a sweet treat to go along with it. You're in luck. 402 Barbecue is here to help. From the best barbecue in the 402 to a shaved ice machine, have 402 Barbecue cater your event and they'll have you covered. Call 402-618-8274 and have the 402 Barbecue truck cater your event today.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Roofing. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Roofing come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
Are you dreaming of your business dominating local Google searches, drawing in customers effortlessly? Look no further. I'm Courtney, the Google gal from Pixel Fire Marketing. Need assistance with your Google business profile? From verification to getting more reviews, fixing maps to tackling annoying Google calls? I've got you covered. Your profile sets you apart and ensures you're the top choice for local customers. Visit fixmygbp.com for our $297 special offer. Visit fixmygbp.com for more details.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
7:25 Thursday night here on 6020. So before we get to Brian Munson, we got to talk about this. We were just talking about Joey Chestnut and brand awareness of Nathan Hot Dogs and et cetera in the last segment. The Big 12 is selling the rights to their conference. And now this is not going to be the Big 12 sponsored by Dr. Pepper, as their championship game has been. This is not going to be the Big 12 sponsored by Kleenex. No. This is going to be great sponsor of the After Hours Lounge, the Coca-Cola Conference. The 12 Coca-Colas, essentially. That's a great idea. You could call it the 12-pack.
I thought it was Allstate.
Whatever. It's going to be something. They haven't announced an official sponsor yet.
The tweet that I saw today.
So according to Pete Thamel, several industries have offered up the rights, and they have not made a decision yet. And that was as of about 2:30 this afternoon. So if you've seen something since then,
yeah. So the one that I saw today was from Brett McMurphy, and he says Big 12 is in discussion with Allstate on a naming rights deal to change the league's name.
Wow. Okay. So sorry, I thought this was the same Pete Thamel report. I apologize. I didn't read that because Pete Thamel had announced an hour before this that there was discussion about this happening. So it looks like, Allstate is going to be the sponsor of the conference.
So, and name possibilities are Big Allstate Conference or the Allstate 12 Conference,
which both are horrible.
Both
if you
are
couldn't
awful.
Tell.
But I just want to make a point here that the initials of Big Allstate Conference are BAC.
Blood alcohol content.
Blood alcohol content.
Yeah, which kind of go fitting. But is this what the ACC and the Big 12 are going to have to do to keep up with the dollar amounts being spent by the SEC and the Big 12?
Obviously, the Big 12 thinks so because they're also looking into potentially taking $1 billion of private equity money from an investment firm in Luxembourg. So, they are trying to generate as much money as they can to try and play ball with the big boys.
Yeah, and more importantly, probably keep up with the NCAA versus House lawsuit.
Sure. So, I mean, Brett Yormark is on one right now, man. He's he's selling everything. Everything must go. And we'll let you name anything.
And I know you've got to be able to play with the big boys, etc. But it kind of feels like the Big 12 was maybe a little bit ahead of the curve when you go out and you get a guy that was the brand builder for Rock Nation and a guy that has built his name and hung his hat on being able to market things his entire career. And a lot of people scoffed at it, and a lot of people looked the other way and said, well, you can't get a non-sports person. This is kind of what you get when you bring the entertainment industry into the sports world.
He's selling everything, baby.
Do you hate it?
I kind of hate it.
I thought I was going to, but it just makes too much sense, and we probably all should have seen it coming. I think the only reason to be mad is because you didn't know it was going to happen.
I'm not mad about it.
Yeah.
I understand why they want to do it and why they may need to do it, and I get it, and it makes sense. That doesn't mean that I necessarily like seeing corporate logos plastered all over everything, and we're going to have patches on sleeves and stickers on helmets and all these things. I don't like it. I understand it.
See, here's my thing, though, is if I'm the guy in the shoulder pads, if I'm the guy putting the helmet on every single Saturday, I'm selling my spots on my pants. If you can do this, I can make myself a walking billboard too. Hey, Jerky Links, you want to sponsor more than the UFC?
Yeah, I don't think you can sell spots on your own jersey.
Why not?
Because that branding is owned by the university and you can't personally sell.
Doesn't that impede your ability to benefit from your name, image, and likeness, though? It's your jersey.
It's not your jersey. It's owned by the school. It's their branding. They own that.
Do we start?
You can get a tattoo on your body of any brand you want.
Do we start to see last names come off the back of the jerseys for that reason? Because I think that's the discussion we have to have here. If it's not my jersey, why is my last name on the back of it?
I mean, we can have that argument, but I don't think you'll win. I don't think that because I mean, maybe there's a world where players can opt out of having their name on the jersey.
Did we just have our next topic for Robert Williams with Williams Law organically come up?
I mean, I don't know. Which player is honestly going to opt out of having their name on the jersey?
And I'm not saying that, but I'm saying the debate of explain to me why I can't sell the spots on my jersey. If you're going to pay me, because this is where we are, you're going to pay me now because my jersey is selling in your bookstore and I'm getting a percentage of it for that reason. What's the difference between that and putting a Jerky Links logo on my pants?
Because it's not your jersey. The school owns that branding. It's the school's name, image, and likeness that you're talking about.
Does anyone else get big Wayne's World vibes from this conversation?
But
hey man, I'll never sell out and be a corporate shill.
It's the same reason you can't, like, if you like work at a department store and they have a branded shirt that they give you, you can't sell advertising spots on their shirt.
Have you tried?
They will never allow it to happen.
You're working for Nike and you got the Under Armour logo tattooed on your side or stitched on your side. We got to get to Brian Munson. We'll get his thoughts on this. He deals with 16 to 18-year-olds every single day. And we'll get his thoughts on if he thinks that should be allowed and what he wants the Big 12. The On3 12 conference. That's what we have coming up next. If you missed that segment, check it out, soundcloud.com/afterhour1620. Speaking of our good friend Bob Williams, he can represent you today. If you need somebody to defend you and give you the answers to the rights you have, or maybe you have a loved one that's been wrongfully accused, maybe you're facing a DUI charge and have questions. One of our listeners called Williams Law the other day and got a no obligation consultation with Williams Law and let Bob represent him in court. You can give him a call today at 402-522-6317 and let Williams Law represent you and give you your rights today. We'll be right back with Brian Munson from On3 and Husker Online when we come back here on 1620 Zone.
Hey everyone, it's Dan Campanen here for Pepper Jack's Grill. I've been telling you for a while about a steak gunner Philly, and I know it makes your mouth water every night, and it should. But did you know Pepper Jack's has healthy options too? You can get a salad or some French fries with that amazing ranch. What more could you want? Stop by and grab a dinner, healthy or otherwise, at Pepper Jack's. 10 great locations tonight.
The dream of playing the sport you love may be closer than you think. The Bellevue University Athletic Department proudly sports the best scholarship funding among NAIA programs in the state. To compete with the best, we need to recruit the best. All incoming freshmen earn a $5,000 scholarship when they enroll at Bellevue University. Learn more by looking us up at BUBruins.com and reach out to your future coach today.
Don't keep up with the Joneses. Blow the Joneses out of the water and have everyone talking about your house this summer. Let Forsman's Finest Decks come build you a deck, put a cover on it, and give your house the much-needed facelift it deserves. Forsman's Finest Decks has been improving homes in the Omaha area for more than half a decade. With over 135 five-star reviews, you're not going to regret your decision to enjoy the finer things. Check out Forsman'sFinest.com and have your dream deck built this summer. Forsman's Finest Decks, building the finest decks in Omaha.
Are you ready to elevate your taste buds? Look no further than Pepper Jack's, your go-to destination for bold flavors and endless choices. Dive into their mouth-watering rice bowls, crisp salads, hearty Phillies, savory burritos, and loaded nachos. What sets them apart? Complete customization. Choose your base, proteins, toppings, and sauces for a personalized culinary adventure. At Pepper Jack's, it's not just a meal, it's an experience. Unleash your cravings and savor the bold tastes at Pepper Jack's today. Life's too short for bland. Spice it up at Pepper Jack's.
Jerry Ryan Clothing has been dressing Omaha for over 50 years. Located at 78th and Dodge, they've got you covered for your summer events. Let Johnny O, Mizzen and Maine, Roan, and Peter Millar take care of golf, office, or a night on the town looks. Whether it's a golf polo for the course or completely updating your business casual wardrobe, do it in style. Let Dan, John, Jake, or Deanna take care of your look for any event. As always, free alterations by Mona the Tailor. It's Jerry Ryan Clothing, 78th and Dodge.
We're going abroad for the first time in years, to Spain.
But we don't speak Spanish.
So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks. Babbel's conversational method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish.
Estoy muy emocionado para ir a España contigo.
Aw, He just said, I'm very excited to go to Spain with you. Nos vamos a divertir mucho.
And that means we're going to have a lot of fun.
Sí. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
A fantastic fall fishing trip starts right now. Hi, I'm Crash Davis. I need you to go to ballardsresort.com and get signed up. You've heard me talking about it. You've asked me about it. Well, now is the time to get signed up. Only a few spots remain. Only a few days remain for us to have a great fishing adventure together at Ballards Resort in northern Minnesota. We're going to the Lake of the Woods. Get on the bus Sunday. We're back on Thursday, and it's cheaper than you could do for gas there and back hauling a boat. More details with ballardsresort.com. Get signed up today. Time is of the essence.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
7:36 on a Thursday night here at 1620 The Zone. Huge recruiting weekend in Lincoln. And our guy, Brian Munson from Husker Online and On3 joins us. Munson, good evening, sir. How are you?
Dude, did you not call me at 7:30 straight up because you're too busy wasting people's time talking about Blake Bortles?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
thank you, Brian.
This is the Blake Bortles Variety Hour. And we got Adrian Martinez's thoughts on the Jacksonville Jaguar great. Do you have takes?
The only thing I remember about Blake Bortles was that the night of the NFL draft, he was with his girlfriend was amazing. She was incredible to look at, and I never understood how that happened. So there you go.
He made it all the way to an AFC Championship game and didn't come anywhere near the payday that Trevor Lawrence just got. So that's why we have the Blake Bortles conversation tonight.
Oh, but come on! I mean, dude. I mean, even ask Adrian. Trevor Lawrence. I mean, the Jags are really a team that I would keep a really close eye on this fall.
Adrian echoed what I said. He said, "Hey, Trevor Lawrence never made it to an AFC Championship game."
Oh, buddy, I don't even know if I want to even try to
go ahead.
This hill right
defend.
Thanks for joining us, Brian. We'll see you later.
Defend Blake Bortles right now. Hey, let's talk about what everybody wants to talk about. Obviously, there's a huge weekend coming up in Lincoln. 11 visitors in town to join Matt Rule this weekend. Who are some of the biggest names that you're excited to hear from after they get done with their time in Lincoln?
Well, the big addition that we had today, for being completely off the list, nobody even considering it, was Isaiah Mose. Isaiah Mose is a wide receiver from Lee Summit North High School in Missouri, who is a commitment to Oregon. Actually was scheduled to be in Lincoln for the spring game, but the week before decided to commit to the Ducks. His dad is, conveniently is an assistant coach at UCF. So there's some time.
That's where Blake Bortles went to college.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard. That's why I kind of said conveniently there. So I'm glad you picked up on that.
It all ties in.
But then, so his dad is good friends with Dan Lanning, or at least knows him, trusted him. That's kind of like what brought this whole thing kind of together. But Mose will be back in town this week. This makes 7 times that he has visited Nebraska. I think it's really interesting that, his name just kind of keeps popping up. So Mose is a big name for this weekend. There was some jockeying around, the 21st was really supposed to be like the big weekend, but a guy like S.J. Alaf-Fatuli, the offensive lineman from Bishop Gorman, he moved his visit up a week. Kate Peterzik, defensive end from West Fargo, North Dakota, he moved his visit up. I think there was one more in there, but I think it was actually commitment. I think it was Connor Booth. I think Connor Booth was scheduled to come in the 21st. He's coming in the 14th. I think what's really interesting about this weekend is Nebraska has got 3 commitments coming in, Bear Tenney, Bryson Hayes, and Booth, to help out with the entire weekend. You kind of get those boots on the ground. I mean, obviously Dylan Raiola is going to play this huge role, and, talking to SJ and talking to Mose, and Mose actually mentioned Dylan Raiola in a commitment article to Oregon, so really kind of some strange stuff. So he's ultra aware of Raiola being there in Lincoln. He even mentioned Daniel Kaelin. So it's going to be an interesting weekend. You know, I don't kind of foresee kind of looking at this list going, oh yeah, they're going to get, you know, this kid to commit, whatever. But this is an important weekend. I mean, I'm writing Tunnel Talk at this moment. Nebraska's only hosted 4 official visitors going back to May 31st. That's a very, very, very small number. By comparison, Ohio State, who is the number 1 team, you know, in the team rankings when it comes to the 2025 class, they've hosted 20. USC, 31. So there's some things here that I just kind of the scale, you know, I think Nebraska's really going to think long and hard about how they're doing their summer camps, and maybe, you know, that first weekend in June is an incredibly valuable date, and they're giving it up to host their camps. And I think we all agree that they've had plenty of offers. There have been some good to come out of it, but you're giving up a very valuable weekend. And I think that's going to be something that they're going to want to go back and talk about later on.
Brian, I'm interested to hear what you have to say on this topic. You get a kid like Bearteni who's coming in, and obviously it's for peer recruiting purposes. He's been to Nebraska before. He's made his commitment already. What does a kid like that get out of taking an official visit at this point?
Well, I mean, you get a chance to build a little bit more chemistry, you know, with a guy like Raiola. You know, maybe they're 2 guys that get together and say, you know, hey, let's go host SJ and Mose all weekend long. And let's make sure those guys are hearing everything that they need to hear about, you know, me being here now and you currently, you know, going to be joining me in January or June. So I think you get that chance to kind of keep building the chemistry, get a little bit more familiar with Lincoln. I mean, you know, ask Adrian. I mean, I think that even after, I mean, his situation was a little bit different, obviously, coming off the decommitment and things kind of moving very, very quickly. But I think the more time you get to kind of to build that time as a group, as a team, get back in front of the coaching staff, the familiarity, you know, when you're walking through the hallways and people know who you are, what you look like, can start to address you by your name. You don't need to wear that name tag around anymore. They just know you as that person. I think that all kind of helps to kind of just build team chemistry. I think there's a familiarity process to it all. Obviously, I think that this is kind of this critical part in this the team development too. When you start talking about summer workouts, who's there, who's doing what, kind of hearing more about those stories and how things are kind of coming together. I just don't think people really understand the real value of what happens during the summertime. So I think those are some big things for Bear, obviously, because, you know, Bear was a guy that was kind of off the radar too. You know, when he kind of showed up in Lincoln and ended up committing, you know, a couple weeks later. So that's I think it's still him trying to get comfortable and everybody else trying to get comfortable with him and really get to know him.
Just looking at the list of guys that are coming in that aren't committed, if somebody were to commit this weekend, does it feel like the most likely is Sean Hammerbeck?
Big sigh.
I'd probably say yes, but again, he has an official visit set up to Texas Tech next weekend, and that's a very important visit to him. And I don't think it's just, you know, coincidence that Texas Tech happens to be recruiting pretty far north up in the Midwest, from Nebraska up to North Dakota. I think it's kind of in direct, call it retaliation, call it an eye for an eye or whatever you want. You know, but you have Coach McGuire that's in Lubbock, who's the head coach, and his son is there in Lincoln, you know, and I think that obviously the word is out. I mean, you have plenty of schools, Oregon State that's doing a dance in the Midwest this year too, trying to go get guys. Texas Tech going a little bit further north, trying to get some guys this year. So I think the word, you know, between the COVID time, building up till now, I think people are understanding that the type of talent in the Midwest, it's not plentiful. It's just high quality. And I think that those teams will go out of their way, despite the fact that they are, in Texas or on the West Coast or whatever. They'll spend the time to go check out those guys because I think it is the quality, and I think that they can treat people like Hammerbeck, like Ren Brown, as a little bit more of a higher recruiting target than maybe some other schools are that aren't recruiting him, necessarily like the in-state school, Nebraska, or other regional schools.
Nebraska made available some folks at a press conference that don't typically get in front of the media, and the strength coach and the nutritionist, and I forget, there might have been a couple of other people.
Sean Padden.
Yeah. And well, I think ostensibly it looks like this is a nice little handout to the media to be asked, to be able to ask some people some different questions. I read it more as like, this is a direct message to recruits. Like, look at these people you can work with. What was your read on that?
I think that that's a great read. I think that's a fantastic read. I think that there are always those 10 important people, the head coach and the assistant coaches that are out kind of in front of it. They're the ones that get to show up, in the high school and talk to these guys now face to face. They're the ones, that'll be in the room with them. They'll be the ones that are out there on the football field, yelling the most, whatever. But I being a former player, cannot tell you the importance of understanding and getting along with the strength coach. You spend so much time with him in his space. It's actually quite crazy. I mean, you start talking about winter workouts, you start talking about the maintaining, time when it comes through spring schedule. You start talking about what you're doing during the summer, the maintenance mode through the fall. There is a ton of time that you are spending in his realm, and you have to get along with that guy. You have to understand what he is all about. That is an underappreciated part of the recruiting process, is really getting to know, to understand, and become friends with the strength and conditioning staff. So I think that the people that have been getting some of this attention recently, it is by design, because I think that they're way more to credit with where things seem to be kind of headed than what they're actually getting. They're not getting their names mentioned in any articles, but behind the scenes, they're the ones that have the elbow grease. They're the ones that are putting in some big long days and working to pull some things together. And everybody just sees kind of the cosmetic, manicured side of it. They all see the manicured side of it, but some people had to pull all that stuff together to make it work. The coaches are just out in front of it.
What obviously it had been a little bit of a jog for you, but they allowed the media members to come in and take a look at the new facility. Of the pictures and what you've heard from Sean and Sip and the rest of the guys, what did you make of the new facilities that got unveiled over the weekend?
Oh, blown away. I mean, I had a chance to peer into it. I mean, my son was up there on Saturday for the deep snapping specialist camp on Saturday afternoon, and when we left Memorial Stadium and kind of came down the Hawks, I mean, it was first of all, there used to be that great big opening that was right there, which is no longer there because it's got the new facility. And I was able to kind of walk up to the doors and kind of peer inside of it. And then that's when I was told, oh, no, no parents. There's just campers beyond this point. Coach Foley's there and the rest of his folks are there. And probably, probably could have snuck in a little bit more if I was a little more casual and acted a little bit more dumbfounded about it. But I knew what I was doing.
You didn't pull the "you don't know who I am" card?
No, I wasn't wearing a Husker Online shirt. Wasn't trying to pull any of that stuff at all. It was, I legitimately wanted to take a look. But what I could see, amazing, totally incredible. Really wished I would have got a better view. But seeing some of the videos, of course, that we have seen since then, when the media got a chance to kind of go in there and take a look around, it's just absolutely amazing. But I mean, I've been amazed by everything, of course, that they have done since the Husker Power was in the basement of the West Stadium. taking a look at those platforms, thinking about the guys, of course, that could only, step foot on there that were the record holders. And when things got moved over into the Indomitian Sioux, strength and conditioning center, just fantastic. Every time they're doing something like this, the way they ratchet it up, I mean, they're just going guns blazing, going for the best in the country. And it looked fantastic. I hope at some point I can also take a tour and tour through there a little bit. But yeah, it looked amazing. But like the little piece I saw was amazing. I'm glad I saw a little bit more comprehensive view with all the video and stuff like that came out.
Of all the man crushes you have, is the biggest one currently on Paul Skeens?
On who?
Paul Skeens, the pitcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates that you lovingly tweet about ever so often.
So, I mean, full disclosure, I'm still a little bit of a card collector. And it's been fun to kind of watch his stuff kind of take off because he is worthy of the hype. I mean, what he's throwing, the straight gas, there's some real, like, Ohtani type of dominance, in his arm that Ohtani has at the plate on the left side of the plate. It's just fantastic to watch him throw the ball. Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest man crush right now in the MLB. There's the Orioles have an outstanding young team. They're fun to watch, and but yeah, Paul is just, dude, that guy's. He was fun to watch in the College World Series, obviously, a couple of years back too. So, which, by the way, looking forward to that kicking off again, man. I loved all the regional, super regional games this year too. So, just something about college baseball that I could just sit there and watch it all day long.
Brian, we appreciate it, man. We'll catch up with you in 2 weeks. We're off next week, so you get the week off from having to deal with us and most of the regular guys from 6 to 6 also.
Well, I'm going to go drown myself in my tears right now, guys. I'll be waiting patiently for to talk to you guys again.
That's Brian Munson. If you want to catch up with him before we get back to him, follow him on Twitter at @BrianMunson_. Check out all of his work at HuskerOnline.com as well. That segment was brought to you by our friends at Forsman's Finest Decks. If you want to upstage your neighbors and have your house be the conversation point of the neighborhood, the only way to do is dress it up a little bit. Head over to Forsman'sFinest.com. Have your dream deck built this summer and add that something that your house has been missing. Head over to Forsman'sFinest.com and have your dream deck built by Travis and crew. We'll be right back, wrapping up the show, winning you some money, and closing out the week. 1620 Zone. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for Cunningham's Pub. We just talked to our friends Derek and Leah a little bit ago, talked about the great specials they have coming up. They're bringing Wing Wednesday back to the After Hours Lounge with a little bit of a twist on it. It's going to be Wing and Whiskey Wednesday. But if you are looking for something to do this Father's Day, Cunningham's is the place for you. They brought their fried chicken in studio tonight. It was amazing. The gravy that Derek sprinkled over the top of it was picture perfect. Had a little bit of a kick to it and had a unique flavor that you're only going to get at one of Cunningham's 2 great locations in the Blackstone District or 108th and Old Mill. Stop by tonight. Stop by on Father's Day. Stop by all 7 days of the week if you can. The lunch menu's got so many options. You'll be able to choose a different option every single day. It's Cunningham's Pub. 2 great locations. Stop by tonight and grab dinner.
Are you looking to be part of a winning tradition? The Bellevue University Bruins could be the right fit for you. Whether on the court or on the field, track or course, our student athletes strive and succeed. This year, Bellevue teams and individuals have combined to win 11 conference championships, with 8 teams qualifying for their national tournaments. Plus, nearly 50 student athletes were also named to all conference teams. Find out more about our tradition of excellence at BUBruins.com.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call Local Pyramid Roofing. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Roofing come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
Are you ready to elevate your taste buds? Look no further than Pepper Jacks, your go-to destination for bold flavors and endless choices. Dive into their mouth-watering rice bowls, crisp salads, hearty Phillies, savory burritos, and loaded nachos. What sets them apart? Complete customization. Choose your base, proteins, toppings, and sauces for a personalized culinary adventure. At Pepper Jacks, it's not just a meal, it's an experience. Unleash your cravings and savor the bold tastes at Pepper Jacks today. Life's too short for bland. Spice it up at Pepper Jacks.
Jerry Ryan Clothing has been dressing Omaha for over 50 years. Located at 78th and Dodge, they've got you covered for your summer events. Let Johnny O, Mizzen and Maine, Roan, and Peter Millar take care of golf, office, or a night on the town looks. Whether it's a golf polo for the course or completely updating your business casual wardrobe, do it in style. Let Dan, John, Jake, or Deanna take care of your look for any event. As always, free alterations by Mona the Tailor. It's Jerry Ryan Clothing, 78th and Dodge.
Hop into the driver's seat of a new Ford truck or SUV now at Baxter Ford. Choose from hundreds of new Ford F-150s, F-150 Lightnings, F-250s, and F-350s. Baxter Ford has over 250 new SUV models available, including Bronco, Bronco Sport, Escape, Edge, Explorer, Expedition, and more. Plus, all our vehicles come with fair, transparent pricing and no dealer fees. So you only pay for the vehicle, not the paperwork. Get started at BaxterFord.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
You are listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
We just told Brian Munson, but we'll make sure we tell you guys. The After Hours Lounge turns off the neon sign here in about 3 minutes, and it will not be back on for another week. We won't be back till the following Tuesday, post the championship series for the CWS. But you can catch all the coverage of the College World Series right here on 1620 The Zone. We're going to send you out a winner tonight to close out shop for the week. Johnny, we're going to start us off.
Yep. We're doing College World Series picks.
Yes.
So I like tomorrow afternoon, the Tennessee Volunteers to win by more than 1.5 runs over the Florida State Seminoles. That is plus 108. I think Tennessee is your national champion at the end of this thing.
Way to go out on a limb, taking the number 1 overall seed.
It hasn't happened since 1999.
It's a very good point. I will also go out on a limb. Give me North Carolina to win tomorrow outright as well. I don't know if I'm willing to take them on the run line. Give me the Tar Heels on the money line. Anything in particular looking forward to this weekend, Brody Heidemann?
I mean, Caglione. He's a generational talent up here in Lincoln again. I think going out to the ballpark and seeing him, I don't know if he's gonna pitch.
He should.
He's not going to start the first game.
He will not start the first game.
Second.
Yeah, he will definitely be on the mound at some point. We are always on the mound here from 6 to 8 p.m. as the sports schedule allows. If you missed any of the show tonight, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. For Brody, for Dan, for John, I've been Jimmy. Enjoy the College World Series, everybody. Thank you to John Bishop and the crew. Catch their calls. They're going to kill it this week. Have a great time down the park. See you next week.
The dream of playing the sport you love may be closer than you think. The Bellevue University Athletic Department proudly sports the best scholarship funding among NAIA programs in the state. To compete with the best, we need to recruit the best. All incoming freshmen earn a $5,000 scholarship when they enroll at Bellevue University. Learn more by looking us up at bubruins.com and reach out to your future coach today.